So what is capital adequacy? What do we mean by that? Meaning we should have enough capital, right? We should have enough capital, right? राइट जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि औकात में रहो, ओके, स्टे इन योर लिमिट्स. सो कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी इज समथिंग, जितना चादर उतना पैर फैलाना चाहिए, बोलते हैं ना. सो दिस इज इट, मतलब यू हैव टू कट द क्लॉथ as per your requirements, right? If you are preparing for any kind of public sector bank promotion exam, be it scale 1 to scale 6, we have a dedicated course for you. For State Bank of India to Reserve Bank of India, from IDBI Bank to Punjab and Sindh Bank, from BOB to PNB, our comprehensive bank promotion exam course covers all aspects of bank promotions. Inside the course where we have general banking, professional banking, RBI circulars, economy, credit, risk, forex, and nowadays they are asking additional content like Companies Act, other acts, etc. So that is also covered inside our course here, and this is prepared as per the new syllabus of bank promotion exam, where they ask few questions from marketing, HR as well. Based on your exam pattern, based on previous year pattern, the courseware is designed. For higher grades, deeper study materials are also provided up to scale 6 level. Also, we have RBI circular, gist, and monthly banking to aid you in your preparation. In promotion batch, it is completely free, and additional batch is also given to you. There is a all banking certification course for JAIIB, CCP, MSME, Forex, etc. And the course covers all specialized field like credit, risk, treasury, forex, retail banking, finance, account, trade finance, audit, IT, HR, corporate governance, reasoning, and in some of the banks they are nowadays asking questions related to reasoning and banking. Do join our Telegram channel, and we are now celebrating 10,000 plus success stories at Knowledgist. So you are watching this class at our additional channel Bank Promotion and JAIIB by Knowledgist. You can also stay connected with our main channel with 1,65,000 plus subscribers. Enjoy the class, and this is a sample session. Dedicated internal batches classes are available in internal batches. We are conducting live classes post 9 o'clock for the benefit of our working professionals. So see you in the internal classes. Now enjoy the class. Okay. So then components of capital, what kind of capitals are there, especially for banks? What should be the capital of bank? कौन सा instrument capital में जाएगा? Minimum capital requirement, calculation of expected loss, because nowadays this NPA management will be done through the the provisioning will be done through the expected loss management, probability of default, exposure of default, loss given default. Okay. So anyway, the term capital adequacy came into effect when in 1974, the governors of G10 central banks established a Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, which we know as BCBS, due to global financial turbulences triggered by the events like the fall of Herstatt Bank. Why the Basel Committee came into existence? If it is asked, nowadays they don't ask a lot of history questions because this becomes history, but we will be understanding the Basel 3 components very soon. So BCBS came to existence in 1974 meeting of G10. Then RBI was not a member, but in 1987-1988, RBI also came to the board of central bank boards in BCBS. The purpose was to enhance financial stability through improved banking supervision globally. Because see, one institution, one mortgage company in USA called Lehman Brothers failed in 2008. People throughout the world, people throughout the globe, people in India also lost their job. There was a recession at that time. So if one institution in the world fails, then all of us will have impact. People lost their jobs in non-IT companies also. So the committee aimed to prevent any decline of capital standards in banking systems and promote consistency and measuring capital adequacy. So when one bank failed, others failed. Even the falling of bank has left many IT people stranded. Okay. So not only the banking sector, financial sector, IT sector, telecom sector, everywhere there will be impacts. So we want to limit it. So what should be done when there are tough times? What should we do for tough times? COVID-19 jab aaya, people were inside the rooms. Those who were having enough saving, they could survive. Those who were having money at the time of demonetization, those who were having money in there, those who were having cash in hand, they survived. Similarly, during the COVID times, those who have money, enough saving, they could survive, right? Those who are having hand to mouth situation, they have to die out of starvation. भूखा मर गए लोग. तो कोविड-19 में कौन कौन थे जो बच गए, जिनके ऊपर इंपैक्ट नहीं हुआ? बिलियनर्स, करोड़पति लोग, लाखों जो कमाते थे, जिनके पास पैसा था. तो बुरे दिन के लिए काम क्या आता है? सेविंग्स. ओके, सो उसी तरह से इफ यू हैव एनफ कैपिटल इन योर हैंड, देन प्रोबेबली it doesn't you will not mind losing 1 or 2% of it. Adanis are spending crores, billions in their marriage. So, and we people are spending only 10 lakh, 20 lakhs in our daughter's marriage, in our sister's marriage, right? And what happens then? For the life, our parents, our families suffer. But Adanis are spending crores. Why? Because they have enough capital to spare, enough capital to throw. So if our bank should have enough capital, then a sudden loss would not have impacted us. There are many banks who failed due to the loan fiasco, like the the PMC Bank, Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank. 1 or 2 loans gone bankrupt, the entire bank gone bankrupt. To align the BCBS guidelines on capital adequacy, the RBI introduced a risk asset ratio, or capital adequacy ratio, in April 1992, requiring banks to maintain a minimum capital funds relative to their risk weighted assets. We'll understand what is risk weighted assets. The system encompasses both balance sheet assets and off balance sheet exposure. Okay, what is off balance sheet exposure? Like you have LCBG exposure. Okay, so in June 2004, RBI issued guidelines for banks to maintain capital charge for market risks following BCBS 1996 amendment to incorporate market risk into the capital record. So then what is capital? The capital adequacy framework ensures banks have enough capital to absorb potential losses from their business risk. As I told you in layman's language, आपके पास ज्यादा पैसा है तो एक किसी शहर में पैसा डूब गया तो आप सुसाइड नहीं कर लेंगे. ठीक है, you have saved money 50,000 or your entire life saving is rupees 50,000, and if you would have lost the entire 50,000, you would have committed suicide. So tier 1 capital, so capital of a bank is recognized as tier 1 based on their qualities. Better quality, tier 1. Worst quality, tier 2. Not worst, we can say it's a little degradation. Okay, so tier 1 capital consists mainly of share capital and disclosed reserves, offering the highest quality as it is fully covers the losses. Okay, share capital means the owner's equity, means the bank's own contribution, that is the share capital. Okay, so what do we do? When we buy a share at rupees 10, we give the bank or we give the entity rupees 10 rupees. It is the capital. It is the share owner's contribution to the business. So the money contributed by all the share owners is called the share capital. So that is bank's own money. It has not been borrowed by anyone. And every year they make profit. When they make profit, certain amount is being transferred to its reserves. Also, the Banking Regulation Act says every year you need to send 20%, minimum 20% of your profit to the reserve fund of the bank. Do you remember that in Banking Regulation Act? सब कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, आप बेसिक समझ जाइए. सो कॉमन इक्विटी टियर 1 and additional tier 1. Tier 1 capital is of 2 types. One is common equity tier 1. These are the instruments on your screen are called common equity tier 1. And these are the instruments which are called additional tier 1. Paid up equity capital, stock surplus, statutory reserves, other disclosed free reserves, stock surplus from issue of instruments, capital reserves, balance in P&L accounts, revaluation reserves, change from change in carrying amount by bank's property. And additional tier 1 are perpetual non-cumulative preference shares, eligible debt capital instruments or any other instrument notified by RBI. तो एडिशनल टीयर 1 में आपका नॉर्मली अगर आपने कोई बॉन्ड इशू किया है, ठीक है, एलिजिबल बॉन्ड, हर एक बॉन्ड नहीं है, उसको कहेंगे, या फिर प्रेफरेंशियल शेयर्स और नॉन क्यूमुलेटिव प्रेफरेंशियल शेयर्स। बिल्कुल पीएनबी का भी करवाऊंगा मैं एक सेशन, डोंट वरी। सो इट इन्वॉल्व्स, ओके, क्रेडिट रिस्क मैनेजमेंट चला गया। इट इन्वॉल्व्स मैनेजिंग बोथ ओवरऑल पोर्टफोलियो रिस्क एंड रिस्क इन इंडिविजुअल ट्रांजैक्शन। सो क्रेडिट रिस्क, so in a portfolio manner we will be checking it, we will be checking the risk on a portfolio basis, like we have given 10,000 crore loans to the IT sector and the IT sector is not doing well, so we have to calculate how much of money or what portion of our portfolio is at risk. Okay, all the loans to banking sector, all the loans to the solar sector, all the loan to the energy sector is doing well, one portfolio is not doing well, so based on that the calculation will take place. वो थोड़ा सा broader manner में risk management के session में पढ़ेंगे. Then comes the market. You all understand what is credit risk. Without understanding individual risk you can't go for it. There are only limited number of risks. Credit risk, market risk are the operational risk, are the main risks that we spoke in Basel norms. Then in 2013 they added liquidity risk into the Basel norms, but these are the 4 major risks. In banking, liquidity risk is a very crucial thing. We will learn it in a very separate session. Let's go to the market risk. Market risk refers to the potential loss of a bank due to the fluctuations in market driven factors. Many of us understand what is market. People like us understand market means share market. Normal people understand the market mean the sabji mandi where the vegetable vendors sit, right? But many things are market driven. The interest rate change is also market driven thing. There is an interest rate market. The interest rate is being changed due to various factors, due to the impact of the market. The oil, there is an oil market, the commodity market that drives the price. The price of commodity or the price of goods, the price of petroleum, they generally contribute in raising inflation. इन्फ्लेशन को बढ़ने में ये सब मदद करते हैं. पेट्रोल का प्राइस बढ़ेगा, कमोडिटी का प्राइस बढ़ेगा. The price in petrol prices drive the rise of commodity prices because commodity is being transported. When commodity price is hiked, then your inflation will be hiked. When inflation will be hiked, what will happen? जब इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ेगा तब क्या होगा? First day in your class, sir. Namaste. Very good. Very good. Very good. Sir, kindly show the last slide. I will go to that. But when I go, you take a screenshot. जो doubt है उसको देख लेना. ठीक है? So when the inflation, this is the previous slide. Take a screenshot. No. I said the market fluctuation. When the inflation rise, the purchasing power decrease. Okay, yes, inflation decreases the purchasing power. The interest rate will be revised by Reserve Bank of India. Am I right or wrong? So many things are market driven. Right? The price of the courses of Knowledgist is very high because it is market driven. There is a demand is very high and we don't want to supply it to everybody. Not every Tom, Dick, Harry can be the student of Knowledgist because I want to focus on quality students. So everything is market driven, right? So the price fluctuation, the interest rate fluctuation, the forex rate, the currency rate, exchange rate is being fluctuated by market risk. Okay. So these all are market risk. So what happens? What we can say, if the price of dollar is rising, it is a risk for bank. If the interest rate is rising or decreasing, it could pose risk to bank because we are taking so much of loans. Banks are taking loans. From whom the banks are taking loans? I said, if the interest rate is increased, it is a worry. It's a tension for banks. Why? Because if interest rate is increased, the repo is increased, your FD, your deposit rate, savings account rates will be increased. Your FD, RD rate will be increased. If it is increased, there will be a very less net interest margin left for banks, because in that same portion, in that same proportion, banks cannot raise the loan rates. एफडी का रेट 7 से बढ़कर 9% हो गया, लोन का रेट 2% नहीं बढ़ सकता, 1-1.5% बढ़ेगा. इफ लोन परसेंटेज दे विल हाइक बाय 2-3%, then what will happen? People will stop taking loans. So it includes changes in interest rate. देखिए मैंने सेकंड स्लाइड देखा भी नहीं था, सेकंड टॉपिक, बिलीव मी मैंने नहीं देखा था, बोल दिया था आपको. एक्सचेंज रेट्स, स्टॉक प्राइसेस एंड कमोडिटी प्राइसेस. So the Bank of International Settlement defines the market risk as adverse effects on the value of on or off balance sheet positions. Market risk affects the earnings and capital of banks. Right? The earning and capital of banks. Getting my point? I have 5 crore rupees. So I went to USA. I thought, no, I will not stay in India. People with crores of money, they think let's go and settle in foreign country. Like there are some rumors, Virat Kohli is shifting, these film stars shift to Dubai. Many people go to England. Many people go to Australia. So these people shift. So Pravanjan Tripathi thought, chalo, I will also go and stay in USA and I will teach them. I'll earn money in dollars, but I will shift. I thought I have 5 crore rupees in my account, so I went. So when I converted, it is some 5 crore कितना बनेगा rupees में? Maybe think that it is 20 lakh. 20 lakh dollars I have, so I went to USA. When I went to USA, I thought I have a lot of money. I went, the dollar price decreases or the dollar price increases. So the conversion in when I convert it will vanish. That 20 lakh will become 10 lakh or 15 lakh. Then I have to suffer, right? So it has adverse impacts on our earning. My earning will go down. Okay. The capital, the reserves will also go down based on the fluctuation in market. You have done nothing. You have not even touched your money. You have not even touched your savings. But the value of it has came down. All of a sudden the inflation rises. I thought I will save money to buy a iPhone, and the current price is 1.5 lakhs. I have 1.5 lakhs with me. I am very happy. Let the iPhone 16 release. I will buy it and I will show it to the world. But what happens? They launch the iPhone at rupees 3 lakh. So what happened? By doing nothing, the value of my money came down. मेरे पास पैसा है, मैंने अनाउंस कर दिया था, बट अचानक मुझे लगेगा कि भाई 1.5 लाख तो कुछ भी नहीं है. ठीक है. ओके सर, हिंदी में बोलिए. इंक्रीज वॉइस. भाई वॉइस ठीक है, आप रेडमी 9i आप थोड़ा सा रिकनेक्ट करिए. ठीक है, हिंदी में लीजिए. हाँ, मार्केट रिस्क बोल दिया मैंने आपको, हिंदी में भी बोल रहा हूँ. एक्चुअली हिंदी में सारा क्लासेस प्रवीण सर ने पढ़ा लिया है, इंग्लिश में बहुत कम क्लास हुआ है, इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में क्लास ले रहा हूँ. हिंदी में आज थोड़ा बहुत समझा रहा हूँ, बाकी मैं आगे जाके बाइलिंगुअल सेशन ले लूंगा. ठीक है. तो मार्केट रिस्क हुआ. क्रेडिट रिस्क. क्रेडिट रिस्क मतलब सामने वाला लोन लेकर डिफॉल्ट कर दे, ये चांस हर किसी के लोन में रहता है, उसको क्रेडिट रिस्क कहेंगे. सामने वाला अपना कमिटमेंट जो लोन ले रहा है वो अपना कमिटमेंट पूरा ना कर पाए सही समय पर, उसको क्रेडिट रिस्क कहेंगे. मार्केट रिस्क में कुछ नहीं करना होता है, आपसे कुछ गलती नहीं होता है, बट मार्केट में कुछ इधर उधर हो जाएगा, डॉलर प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा, पेट्रोल का प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा, तो आपका भी वैल्यू कम हो जाएगा. आपको 5,000 सैलरी मिलता था एंड द पेट्रोल प्राइस वाज ₹50, यू आर हैप्पी. आपका सैलरी बढ़ के 7,000 हुआ, पेट्रोल प्राइस 10,000 ₹100 हो गया, डबल हो गया, यू विल बी वेरी अनहैप्पी, क्योंकि यू डोंट हैव एडिक्वेट मनी टू स्पेंड. इतना पैसा आपके पास नहीं है, आपने कुछ नहीं किया, बैठे बैठे ही आपका पैसा खाली हो रहा है. ठीक है. व्हेन योर सैलरी वाज 5,000 rupees, द प्राइस ऑफ टमाटर वाज 20. नाउ योर सैलरी हैज इंक्रीज्ड ओनली बाय 30-40% to 7,000 or 8,000, but the price of tomato is ₹200. तो मार्केट के कमोडिटी प्राइस के हाइक के वजह से आपका कैपिटल भी कम हो गया, आपका अर्निंग तो सेम था बट आपको कम लगने लगा है. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? Yes, it will be available on portal. Then operational risk. When you run an operation, Operational risk is inherent to banks and should be a key aspect of their risk management. Unlike other banking risk, operational risk is not typically taken for an expected reward, but it is inherent in regular corporate activities. अच्छा मुझे बताइए मुझे बताइए प्राइस ऑफ जियो रिचार्ज. You go to a marriage party, right? Many of us go to marriage party because we know the food will be very tasty, right? And sometimes you go and you find one or two items are very untasty, very unhealthy. It seems what you expected. Some of you love chicken and you go to find just to take some chicken in the marriage party. Many of we do go to marriage party for good food, and the chicken is not good. Every time you go for that, for to the marriage party, only because for the love of chicken, but one or two times you face the chicken is not that good. What do you think? The father of the groom or the father of the bride who arranged the feast has deliberately made that chicken worst so that very less consumption will be there. ऐसा उन्होंने जानबूझकर. आपको बहुत सारे लोग मैरिज में इसलिए जाते हैं कि खाना भाई अच्छा मिलता है, और मैं भी तो जाता हूँ कभी कभी मैरिज में खाने के लिए. ठीक है, मैं तो बिन बुलाए भी चला जाता हूँ. ठीक है, आजकल मतलब आसपास कुछ होता है तो भाई बिन बुलाए चला जाता हूँ, इच्छा होता है तो चला जाता हूँ. कॉलेज के डेज में तो मैं जेब में एक रखता था, उस समय खाने के लिए भी नहीं था, मतलब थोड़ा सा दिक्कत था. और खुद को भी कुक करना पड़ता था, तो आसपास जो भी होता था ना, मैं एक डाल के पूरा अच्छा बच्चा ड्रेस पहन के चला जाता था, खा के चला आता था. बट आई हैव डन इट 2-3 टाइम्स, और इसलिए करता था कि आगे जाके स्टोरी बन पाए, मैं बच्चों को अपने जो आगे की पीढ़ी है उनको कुछ कहानी बोलने के लिए तो रहे, इसलिए ये सब करता था. बट अदरवाइज आई डोंट हैव एनी अदर बैड इंटेंशन. एनीवे, तो खाना क्यों बीच बीच में खराब हो जाता है? क्या वो जानबूझकर करते हैं? नहीं ना, कि कौन चाहता है कि इतना बड़ा ओकेजन हो और चिकन ही गंदा निकले, लोग गाली दे के जाए. दैट इज कॉल्ड ऑपरेशनल रिस्क. व्हेन आई फेस दिस, पीपल कम एंड टेल, देखिए कितना गंदा बनाया है खाना. ऐसा कोई बनाता है, और कोई कोई तो लड़ाई भी कर देते हैं. बोलता है अरे भाई, दिस इज नॉट योर फास्ट चिकन और द लास्ट चिकन. ठीक है, आप पहली बार नहीं खा रहे हो, आप आखिरी बार भी नहीं खा रहे हो. भाई हो जाता है, कुकिंग के साथ साथ ऑपरेशनल रिस्क तो रहता है, घर में भी कभी कभी खाना जल जाता है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड ऑपरेशनल रिस्क. इट इज नॉट डेलिबरेट, इट इज नॉट डेलिबरेट. नहीं, मैं चिकन नहीं खाता, और एग्जाम्पल और कुछ नहीं मिला. ठीक है ठीक है, यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? भरद्वाज जी बोल रहे हैं कि पंडित हो के चिकन, मैंने बोला ठीक है, मैंने बोला कि मैं खाना अच्छा मिलेगा इसलिए जाता हूँ. चिकन का एग्जाम्पल दिया क्योंकि चिकन इज वेरी वन ऑफ द पॉपुलर डिशेस इन इंडिया. पनीर बोलो, अच्छा ठीक है. फॉर माई वेजिटेरियन फ्रेंड्स, मान लो पनीर का सब्जी. ठीक है, कौन सा पनीर? मटर पनीर, शाही पनीर, बताओ कौन सा पनीर? उसी के ऊपर बात करेंगे. सर आपके एग्जाम्पल मस्त होते हैं, तुरंत याद रहते हैं. राइट राइट, थैंक यू. बट यस, सो दैट इज ऑपरेशनल रिस्क. इट इज इनहेरेंट. सब्जी बनेगा, आग लगेगा, सब्जी बनेगा, तो कुछ ना कुछ इधर उधर हो सकता है. इवन द बेस्ट कुक्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हैव देयर बैड डेज, राइट? वैकेंसी का बताऊंगा मैं, डोंट वरी. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज सेड. इसके लिए कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता, ये ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाता है. ऑपरेशनल रिस्क इज इनहेरेंट. इनहेरेंट मतलब ऑटोमेटिकली किसी के साथ आता है. ठीक है, अब मैं बहुत अच्छा गाना गाता हूं. ठीक है, आप बोलेंगे कि सर आप ऐसा गाना कैसे गा लेते हैं? ठीक है, मैं बोलूंगा कि इट इज इनहेरेंट, मतलब बचपन से मेरे साथ ही ये गाना गाने का टैलेंट जो है मेरे साथ ही पैदा हुआ है. हालांकि मैं गाना गा ही नहीं सकता, देयर इज ए इशू. मतलब इशू क्या, मैं वो जो स्केल वॉइस है, मेरे फैमिली में हर कोई अच्छा गाना गाते हैं. माय फादर सिंग्स लाइक मोहम्मद रफी, एक्चुअली सिंग्स लाइक मोहम्मद रफी. माय सिस्टर सिंग्स वेल बट नॉट प्रोफेशनल. बट आई can't anyway. It is inherent. The quality of not being a singer, being the worst singer of the world, is inherent to me. So similarly, the operational risk is inherent. आप कुछ भी करेंगे तो इधर उधर होगा. मैं मेरे ऑफिस में हमेशा ग्लास रखता हूँ, मतलब ग्लास वाला वाटर ग्लास रखता हूँ, उसको हम ग्लास भी बोलते हैं और ग्लास से बना हुआ भी होता है, और वो हमेशा टूट जाता है। इट इज इनहेरेंट, होगा, ग्लास है, टूट जाएगा, मेरे से ज्यादा टूटता है। दैट इज operational risk. Improper management of operational risk can lead to misrepresentation of an institution's risk profile and significant losses. Okay, so I know whenever there is a glass put on my table made of glass, it will be broken. So as a good manager, what will I do? I will replace it with a steel glass. I will replace it with a brass glass, or nowadays they use copper glass. So I will do that. Even I will buy a golden glass, but I will never put a glass made of glass, a bottle made of glass, right? सो अगर जानबूझकर करेंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा नुकसान होगा. द मैनेजिंग ऑपरेशनल रिस्क इज मैनेजिंग द ग्लास ऑन योर टेबल. इफ यू नो every time you unknowingly put your hand on the glass bottle and it is being broken, it is inherent, it will happen. Glasses are made to be broken, so you will replace it with a steel one, you will replace it with a copper one. If you have money like Dubai sheikhs, you will replace it with a golden bottle, or you can go for a bamboo glass, like. So management has to find out way, and management will tell no, there will never ever there will be such kind of mistakes. You cannot throw the glass bottle on the floor, you can never break. Sometimes what happens, your manager shouts at you, how could you do the mistake? Our mistakes are to be done by human only. I could do it, I can do it, but you tell what to do next. So that is management. That is what companies should focus on. Mistakes will be done, mistakes will happen, definitely they will happen. So you have to monitor it, you have to measure it, you have to assess it, you have to identify it, where the mistake is happening, who is doing it, what to do so that he will not repeat it. So these are the part of operational risk. आज थोड़ा स्लो हो जा रहा है. So then came the Basel II framework. Basel II initially implemented in June 2006, but it was not complete. Hence, they came with Basel III norms. Reserve Bank issued the guideline on May 2, 2012. So full implementation was achieved by 31st March 2019 with some exceptions. This like capital conservation buffer was not adopted, etc. But after this COVID-19, RBI has removed that restriction. Okay, so these are three pillars of Basel III. These are minimum capital requirement, supervisory review process, and market discipline. So what is minimum capital requirement? Reserve Bank India says, RBI says that you should keep at least 99% as your CRAR. The CRAR excludes capital conservation buffer and counter cyclical कैपिटल कंजर्वेशन बफर. मेरा एक बेसल का भी क्लास है, अगर आपके एप्लीकेशन में अवेलेबल होगा बेसल 3, उसको पढ़ लेना, और आसान शब्दों में हिंदी में भी मैंने बताया है, उसको पढ़ लेना. एंड ये आपका टॉपअप है उसके ऊपर. ठीक है, ठीक है, यस. 1 घंटा हो गया है क्या क्लास का? अच्छा, चलिए कोई बात नहीं, एमसीक्यू कल रखेंगे. ठीक है. RBI considers relevant risk factors and internal capital adequacy assessment of each bank. Capital held by banks should align with its overall risk profile. Okay. So how capital adequacy is calculated? The capital, what is the capital? Tier 1 plus Tier 2 divided by the risk weighted assets. All the assets of a bank, all the asset and investment of a bank carries certain risk, right? So based on that risk weight, you have to maintain your capital. ठीक है. So ये कैपिटल का कैलकुलेशन कैसे होता है, ये हम पूरे क्रेडिट में, जब हायर लेवल के क्रेडिट में इसको पढ़ेंगे. पहले आप इसका नोट्स आप देख लीजिए, क्योंकि आज क्लास लेंथी होता जा रहा है. ठीक है. कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ कैपिटल, कोर कैपिटल, ये हम कल के सेशन में, मैं कल भी सेशन लूंगा, इसको मैं पूरा पढ़ाऊंगा. आज कुछ एमसीक्यू कर लेते हैं, बेसिक का एमसीक्यू. ये कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी पार्ट 1, कल पढ़ेंगे हम कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी पार्ट 2, हम क्लियर कर लेंगे. ठीक है. चलिए मैं कुछ एमसीक्यू दिखा देता हूं आपको. सो नाउ टेस्ट योरसेल्फ. Which committee was established in 1974 by governors of G10 central banks to enhance financial stability through improved banking supervision globally? Very good. It is BCBS. What is the purpose of Basel III framework in banking regulation? Yes. Basel III aims to ensure banks have enough capital to absorb potential losses and enhance financial stability. What are the two categories of capital in the capital adequacy framework? Okay, tier 1 and tier 2. Okay. What is the primary objective of operational risk management in banks? Yes, very good. C is the right answer. And to prevent losses due to inadequate internal processes and external events. क्रेडिट मैनेजमेंट में जो आपका बैंकर्स हैंडबुक ऑफ क्रेडिट दिया गया है उसी को ही लास्ट में देख लीजिए और जो क्वेश्चन हमने डाला है ना वो देख लीजिए. व्हाट आर द थ्री पिलर्स ऑफ बेसल थ्री फ्रेमवर्क? यस, मिनिमम कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट, सुपरवाइजरी रिव्यू, मार्केट डिसिप्लिन. व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट ए कंपोनेंट ऑफ बेसल थ्री? इट इज कैपिटल कंजर्वेशन नहीं है, बाकी तीनों है. ठीक है.